Welcome back to KauligNation, your one-stop shop for all things Kaulig racing, DingerNation, SVGNation, and we are doing a live watch party to the Roval where Sam Mayer might be about to be penalized here. We're about to find out. Joining me on this one, it has been some time. We're back, and or at least I'm back. I just noticed that Ryan is up out of his chair, so we'll wait for him to get back to the studio. We'll both do a good job of muting our mics whenever. We'll both do a good job of muting our mics. Yeah, Sam Mayer's getting black flagged. That's a huge blow to
Really?
Sam Mayer. Yeah, he jumped the start.
Did he jump the start?
He sure did.
I'm still in a commercial, so this is great.
Oh, God. That's a massive difference, man. This is on lap 2.
Well, I'm just now logging in. I might, hopefully, will join with the coverage live here.
Anyways, welcome back. It's been a while. Apologies for the no content over the last couple of weeks. We've both had some personal issues come up, but we're here. We've been excited for this one for a long time to lay the stakes on the table. SVG basically has to win today, and AJ, a win wouldn't hurt, and he's never lost here at Xfinity. But he can point his way in. He's +7 right now. Sam Mayer's getting the black flag. I think they're trying to argue it, but we'll see what happens. To me, the picture perfect scenario here would be that SVG wins the race and AJ goes heavy on stage points and gets like a top 5 finish. That's about as good as you could hope for out of tonight's race if you're cheering for the team as a whole. If SVG doesn't win this race, chances are, barring some sort of, disaster for a couple of cars, he's not going forward.
Right. It's going to be very hard for SVG to point his way in. He could. Same for Sam, truly. He could point his way in. It's certainly not out of the realm. But for both of these guys, they have to win this race. That's really their one direct ticket to advancing. And the same deal, like with AJ, I as much as I want AJ to win this race, to defend his is it 4 in a row? I think he's won 4 in a row. To make it 5 would be great. But he doesn't need to do that today. He just needs to run the stages, finish top 1, 2, 3 in each stage. And he should easily point his way in. And that's okay. So I think we're going to see some varying strategies in this race between our drivers, SVG and AJ, based off those circumstances. So, and I agree with you, Sean. I think the best case scenario is for SVG to win, AJ to run up front and finish seconds, preferably, or third, and make it that way. And then that opens up the door for the round 8 going forward.
Yeah, the interesting thing is, if you're just tuning in today as well, SVG, the dominant car in qualifying, AJ actually.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
now we just got to stay clean, stay out of everybody else's neck.
Sorry, we're having some. Ryan seems to be having some connection issues, guys. We'll try to get that figured out. You were Morse code there for us for a bit, man. You got me now?
Yeah, I'm just pushing a lot on my Wi-Fi. So between watching the race and talking to you, I hope it doesn't happen again, but it probably will.
As long as it doesn't have mid-sentence again, that's not too bad. If you're just tuning in today, the story of the day has been this. SVG, the dominant car in qualifying, in both series. AJ better than SVG in race trim in both series. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm cheering for the team overall. So I hope both guys find a way to advance to the next round. That would be ideal. And the most clear pathway for that is for SVG to win. But I'm telling you right now, SVG is not the quicker of the two cars in race trim right now. AJ just blew
No,
by him like he was standing still.
yeah, I do think you're about a lap ahead of me because I'm going through the back stretch bus stop on lap 3, so I don't know where you are, but
I'll try to keep my mouth shut about bigger events.
yeah, I'm going to try to move forward. So I don't know, this switch to CW, just to quickly deviate, it's working. I'm watching this race. It's great. But I loved when it was on NBC. I could use the NBC Sports app. It was great. It was more or less in line. I was 30 seconds behind you, but now I have to go through my take cable provider, and I'm streaming it through Xfinity, which is then showing CW, and pain in the ass. It's working, but I don't like this. I wish I had the other setup back. But at least I get to watch it.
I have heard, now, mind you, the CW thing does not affect us up here in Canada, but I've heard nothing but bad things while reading online about the CW's ability to have coverage thus far.
I mean, I don't know. It's been, I guess, what everybody's definition of bad is probably different. It's the same NBC crew, it's the same cameras, it's the same more or less setup. It just
I
uses
think it's
CW.
access people are complaining about.
And the funny thing is, CW has more access than NBC than USA, or it's not as maybe it's a little bit harder to find than big NBC, but it's bigger than Fox Sports 1. It's bigger than USA. It's an over-the-air channel. Like if you have an antenna, you get it here in the United States.
Are they showing the race on the CW app? Because I know back in the day, the CW app used to be free.
They are not. At the moment, they're not. Maybe they will next year, but this year, right now, they are not. There's the only way I can stream it is doing what I'm doing, which is actually watching live TV on my Xfinity Comcast stream service. So it is interesting, but I understand. But listen, this is why they did the switch, 6 or 8 races early, is to allow myself and everybody else to figure out where they can watch it, how they can watch it. And, next year there will be no or fewer questions anyway going forward. So even though it's been a bit difficult, I'm glad they're doing that adjustment now and not at Daytona. So I now just saw AJ. Well, I saw it about 20, 30 seconds ago. AJ passed for the lead here. I am curious to see as this race plays out how if SVG gets a little bit better, because we saw this kind of at COTA. I don't want this to be a replay at COTA where we saw AJ really step out to an early lead and then kind of fade towards the end of the race. So I'm now curious to see if this is something that we'll see build or if SVG gets a little bit stronger as we go throughout the day here.
Chris Rice did an interview, and he was more confident in AJ's ability on the long run than SVG's car at the moment. So we'll see how that plays out. But I'm sorry, I don't want to see AJ flipping the stage. I don't care if he's first place or not. You cannot prioritize flipping the stage over advancing to the next round when you have 3 tracks you're good at in the next round. Win the stage, take the stage points, race your way back up. You will absolutely gap Riley Herbst in points and protect yourself from someone else winning.
Yeah, what I would like, my fantasy world here is we stay out, we win the first stage. It looks pretty good so far. Riley looks like he's running 10th at the moment, so would get 1 stage point. We would get 10. That's 9, right? How many do we need to gap Riley? Are we 13 behind Riley?
13 behind.
Yeah. So My personal preference is we stay out for stage 1. If we're in a position to win, flip stage 2. That's just personal preference, but obviously we have to gain on Riley, and if that means staying out both stages, then so be it. But I understand this is part of it I hate, but it's the game we got to play.
Sorry, I'm muting myself because I'm literally eating my dinner. Again, to the chat, welcome back. I see Cindy in there. I see Christopher in there. Lynn's in there. Powder's in there. John's in there. Really appreciate having everybody back. Content will start to pick up again. It's been a crazy couple of weeks for both Ryan and I. We've been excited for this one. There's no doubt right now that AJ and SVG are the class of the field. I usually I don't say this. I don't care which one of them wins. I don't want to see AJ have to pull over. Oh no.
Well, as you say, I hope you don't have to see AJ pull over, and then oh no is not an omen. I want to see what's going on here.
It stayed green, so I'm not gonna say anything. But SVG just made a pretty massive mistake. Missed the turn, had to pull over and stop.
Yeah, well, that's the beauty of being. Well, I'm sure you lost a few spots. I am definitely behind you.
6th or 7th.
Yeah, I mean that's the one thing, right? By being pulled, especially at a road course, you can make a mistake. And yes, he's lost 2nd, but he is going to be able to. He didn't lose all of his positions, right? He didn't go all the way back to 30th. But I will say, we definitely have to keep an eye on Sam Mayer. That car of his is definitely fast, and he will definitely get himself back to the front before this race is over. So,
which is why you need the points. Go put Herbst underground.
I don't disagree with you on that. Yeah, Herbst is 10th. I'm wouldn't surprise. How many is 20 laps in the stage? So we got 12 to go. It wouldn't surprise me if if Sam Mayer gets himself back into the top 10 before the end of the stage. Now the question is how many cars flip the stage, because that's my other concern, is that a lot of cars do come into pit. Obviously, we know AJ is going to stay out, but my fear is Riley, even though he's running 10th at the moment, might finish 3rd or 4th or 5th in the stage because all the cars in front of him are going to come pit.
Herbst is down to 12th.
Point stats, though.
And you're going to see it up here soon, but he almost just wrecked.
That would be the best case scenario. I don't wish
him and Sam Mayer almost just wrecked. AJ's way out in front, 3 seconds on Balicki. I don't care how much of a gap he has on him. You stay out and you get those stage points.
Well, what he could do is come in. Well, you're right, yeah. But it depends on how big of a gap he can build. Like, he could theoretically pit and still get stage points, depending on how big the gap is.
Nah, he needs 1st, 2nd, 3rd type stage points. There's just too much chaos at the end of these races. And someone might say, well, maybe this will be the year it won't happen, and maybe it will. But every year for the last half decade, even last year where AJ wasn't in the Xfinity race, chaos at the end of the race. And I don't want to see us get caught up in someone else's bullshit because we gambled and threw our season away.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, it's...
If we weren't good at the next 3 tracks, man, I'd say whatever, go for it. But we're good at the next 3 tracks.
Well, and listen, and this is something I was holding, and we can definitely touch on this throughout the course of the race. But I'm thinking ahead to the next round, and the way things are currently playing out with Justin Allgaier below the cut line, with assuming AJ advances in through points. Let's say SVG wins this thing, right? I know SVG is very talented. He's made a lot of gain on the ovals, but I'm not worried about SVG making the Final 4 in the next round. I'm just not. He's going to have a solid round. He'll be fine, but he's not going to make the Final Four unless he wins. And then you got Sammy Smith, who won last week, who is not very good. He's not making the Final Four. So if AJ can make the next round with SVG, I really do think it opens up AJ with a great opportunity to make the Final Four. But man, I'm telling you what, I am definitely worried about this Sam Mayer kid right now. He did a drive-through penalty and he drove himself back into the top 10. That's super, super impressive.
Yeah, Sam Mayer's good, but he's not that good. Those junior motorsports cars have found something. Like, look at Connor Zilisch. Good, too. Tremendous talent. But he was in a rocket ship at, was it Watkins Glen? Was that where he did that? Those cars have found something. The thing we haven't discussed yet is, like, Justin Allgaier might need a miracle to make the next round, and that is shocking.
Yeah. I mean, he was the regular he had the most points coming into this first round, right? Like, he did not, and going even back to Bristol, the final race before the playoffs where he got wrecked out, he lost the regular season championship that race. He had a 40-something point lead over Custer, and he lost it all. He lost the points lead. And you know what? Those bonus points, I think it's 5 bonus points between first and second difference. He could miss this round by 5 points or less, and it would be devastating for him. And that's the thing. Allgaier is good at this, at road course racing. He has been for a long time. He's going to have a good day today. It might not matter. Between AJ, SVG, and Sam Mayer, he could finish 5th and still lose ground.
It's crazy to think that Junior Motorsports went into this race with somehow Sammy Smith locked into the next round, but one or both of Sam Mayer and Justin Allgaier could miss it. And one is almost guaranteed. It's not quite a guarantee, but it's pretty damn close to it.
Yeah, I agree. Like, they might get one, but it's going to be at the expense of the other. And truthfully, if Mayer does not win this race, I don't see either of them getting in. And that, as you said, is incredibly shocking considering how much raw speed the junior motorsports cars have. Like, again, going back to the round, if we can advance to the round of 8, AJ in particular, like, if he can get there without Allgaier, that is world changing for his opportunities to make the championship 4. And it would definitely go down as it would probably be the biggest choke job in modern NASCAR playoff history if Allgaier does not get out of this first round from points leader to out.
I like what you said about if SVG and AJ can both go forward, and this is not a shot at SVG by any means. You're just going into the next 3 tracks where AJ's expected to be better at those places than SVG. There's 3 of AJ's best ovals. You already have what's the fella's name? Sammy Smith in that next round.
Yeah, he's not getting to the final.
Yeah, if you can find a way to go to that final 8, and you got Sammy Smith in that next round and SVG in that next round,
you now have
that
6
final
drivers.
4 a lot better.
Yeah, you got 6 drivers racing for 4. And I feel a lot better about AJ's odds there, for sure. And then I was thinking about, okay, so who are you going to be racing, right? I think Cole Custer is more or less a lock for the final 4. Chandler Smith has been really, really good. He things could happen, but I would say he's a pretty good chance of making the final 4. But who else are you racing against? All right, you got Sheldon Creed, who's been good but not great. Who am I missing? Who's the other? Um, I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. It's
Jesse Love? Did you mention
Jesse
him?
Love. Yeah, I guess Jesse Love would be in there. I think Jesse Love's got a good chance of making the final 8. So, yeah. So also another driver who's good. I have no doubt Jesse Love is going to be really good for a long time, but I don't think he's got a shot at the final 4, right? So that really, again, it's. I don't want to put the cart before the horse. We got to get to the next round, but if we can, I really am confident that we have a strong chance to make it.
I
But
absolutely agree.
I tell you what, though, SVG's marching back forward, though. I mean, it's not really a surprise, but even if he's unhappy with his car, he is still probably the second best car in the field at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I firmly think right now AJ and SVG are the guys to beat. Mayer has died down a bit. He probably used up his tires. Where SVG's been able to continue to push forward. He's only 6.2 back. So his stop and go only lost him 6 seconds because he was only a couple of tenths behind AJ when it happened. Yeah, just a lot of race to go here, though, right? Like there's still 6 laps to go in stage 1. Lynn said in the chat, SVG just got told to not kill the turtles. They're not wrong. You hit those new chicane area things too hard, and you can absolutely break something on the car.
Yeah, that listen, you save that aggressive style to the last 10 laps of the race. But you got to make it to the last 10 laps of the race. And the way he was hitting those curbs, especially during his qualifying runs, obviously was finding speed. But that sort of abuse, these cars can handle a lot, but that would be asking a lot for the cars to get 67 laps of high curbs. And we saw it, even going back a few years to the when they did the Indy road course that first year, and the way they were just beating the shit out of the curbs. Eventually, the curbs failed, and the cars failed hitting the curbs. By the way, I am still a bit behind you, Sean, but that was a really good lap for AJ. Like he gapped both Balicki and SVG a chunk on lap 15.
All I'm about to say is you're about to see some action. You'll know it when you see it. It's not
I
involving.
know. It just goes to tell me it reminds me how far behind I am. Because, yeah, we're still just having a good old time here.
I'm not saying it's going to work out for AJ by any means or SVG, but I do prefer the changes they've made to the Roval here. I do like adding the hairpin turn. It was really missing that before.
Yeah, it slowed him down a bit, right? Like I did enjoy the previous layout, but they were able to carry a lot of speed. AJ in particular was very, very good at apexing. There he goes. There went Sheldon.
I'm exactly 1 lap ahead of you because Love and Hill just went right through that spot again. That's nuts.
Um, but yeah, I mean, truly, like AJ was probably the best at getting off of that corner and making a pass. But it was very hard to do. They were carrying a lot of speed. This definitely slows them down, creates the chaos, right? We just saw it there with the little bump and run.
I mean, Creed was running that like it was a qualifying lap. You got guys on your inside, man. Like, hey,
Honestly, I just saw the replay. I don't blame Creed in the slightest. That was a complete dive bomb by Love there.
oh, it was a dive bomb, but like they said on the broadcast, like you got to be conscious that there are going to be people dive bombing you inside there. Like someone fell asleep at the wheel because not just one car dive bombed him there, two, and that's going to be happening all day long. I believe that's the second spin there already this race.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Love was behind Hill. It done that so poorly. Yeah, I'm excited. I do like it. I have to admit, I like it. Hasn't been carnage yet. I'm sure it will get worse throughout the day, but it does create an action point, and I definitely think this track needed that.
Sam Mayer flipping the stage. It's not surprising. I think,
He's not points
yeah,
racing.
I think Mayer knew after what happened last week and going here, you were not going to make up points on AJ, and now flipping stage one, you were firmly like you're giving up 10 points to AJ right there, right? So like,
Yeah, his eggs are in the winning basket, and his car's good enough to do it. But the question is, how many other cars flip with him? Does he start up front? Does he start
too many, because it looks like Riley Herbst is going to easily get 3 stage points this time around, which is
I could have told you that was going to happen.
a little frustrating. But AJ's still going to gain 7 on him. AJ's got one more shot to come to pit road here. I really hope he doesn't.
Well, at least Chandler got out ahead of him.
Yeah, I don't think Herbst will make up the 2 seconds on Mosick. So AJ's going to gain 7 on him this stage. And when you and I were talking about our what if scenarios, we said you got to gain 5 on each stage and then finish 3 positions ahead of him, or 4 positions ahead of him. Well, he's going to gain 7. I think, I know you might want to flip stage 2, but I don't know, man. It's a long stage. There's going to be some yellows. There's just no way there's not going to be yellows at this place. There's too many lack of talent drivers towards the back that will do something stupid. I think you got a point race.
I mean, yes, it just scares me, right? The flip side of this is it scares me because I really do feel that, when we're going to be restarting, best guess 14th, right? I think that's
maybe even
probably
further
fair.
back than that.
Maybe even worse than that, right? Like, the talent pool is better in the Xfinity series, but when you're back in that area, you are susceptible to a lot of shit.
100%.
Yeah, where's Allgaier at 4th? On Austin Hill's ass for 3rd.
SVG's not flipping the stage. And, man, I just don't think that's the right call. Wasn't he like 20 back? And that's amazing. So realistically, 33 back?
He was, I think, I don't honestly know the exact number. It improved greatly with Sam Mayer's penalty. Let's put it that way. So, yeah. So, what is this? Allgaier going to get 3rd, stay in the stage. Riley gets 8th. Yeah. All right. It is interesting. I don't know the play here. I am curious to see. The only thing I can tell you is that they feel comfortable enough with their car that they can drive it back to the front. Brock just said he was only -10. So, I mean, I guess, yeah, theoretically, he could point his way in as well. But, AJ and SVG pointing in would be tough.
Yeah, and you're not making up the 10 points on AJ. I'm sorry, it's just not happening here. So, really, you're -23. They just showed where they're currently running. It would be SVG in on tiebreaker +0. But that's keeping in mind Sam Mayer's back there, and his car is really, really good. And unless something happens to his car, he's unlikely to finish outside of the top 10.
Yeah. But only 5 points behind Herbst right now. And I do think he can get 5 points on Herbst. even if he points races right along with him, I do think he can get those 5 points. So it's it's a chess game, right? There's a lot on the table here. But if Sam, I just don't see it. I agree. I just don't see it. Sam, AJ, or SVG are going to win this race, one of those three, which means one of those three will miss the next round.
Yeah, AJ, I don't want to say he can walk his way in because anything can happen. You can have parts break, you can get a stupid penalty, your pit crew can let you down on pit road. But after the Sam Mayer penalty last week and how dominant once again AJ is here at the Roval, like to me, you take the points, you go out and hopefully you race your way up to, somewhere between third and fifth in the next stage, and you gain 4 or 5 more points, and all of a sudden you're only 1 or 2 behind Riley Herbst, and you easily, should make that up in the final stage and still have a shot at winning. Not as great as it would be as if you flip the stage, but just want to give AJ and SVG some props. The TV crew really did a good job of showing both of those guys, not just in the Xfinity Series, but the Cup Series, exchanging information a lot and really working hand in hand. And as we said earlier, SVG was the dominant car in qualifying. AJ had the better car in race trim. And in both series, SVG got the pole and AJ qualified third. So it just has the makings to be a great weekend if they don't get into one another's way and if the team doesn't go and shoot them in the foot either.
Yeah. Always the risk with Kaulig. It's an adventure on pit road. We'll see how we get out of how we do with the pit stops coming up. But I agree. I watched the Xfinity practice this morning. I didn't get to watch the Cups, but it was very nice to see them very, close together, working side by side. Obviously they're not giving away trade secrets or anything, but I definitely think that they had a plan coming into this weekend, to work together. And I see that being the case today and tomorrow. So, if they can help each other out, I think they will do it to the best of their ability to try to get them both into the next round.
Yeah, some people might not like to hear this, but I don't think AJ is ever going to be that guy that pulls over and lets someone else win the race, even if the guy needs to win the race. I don't think you're going to see an F1 call happen. I don't think that's in his blood, but I really want both guys to move on, and they're off to a really good start. And now they're going to be mired back in traffic, and both of them need to try to navigate it as best as they can. Like, don't get into one another's way. Start picking guys off one after one. Cars never handle as well back in dirty air as they do in clean air. SVG was already picking some guys off. Now AJ's going to have to prove that he can do it too. You just hold our breaths here and hope they navigate it as easy as they can, or with the least amount of difficulty as they can. I want to call out someone else in the chat. I don't know who posted it earlier, but they were spot on. Typically this season, SVG has been in a Trackhouse car that gets some, the Kaulig wrap and some minor Kaulig prep, and then Kaulig controls the car at the racetrack in the Cup Series. That is not the case this weekend. Trackhouse was not going to put SVG in a car this weekend. It was Matt Kaulig who made the call to put SVG in the car this weekend. And even though WeatherTech is on the car, it was a very, very late call. They were talking about it a little bit earlier. Chris Rice actually posted something on social media about it. 'Cause as of a couple of weeks ago, SVG was not set to run the Cup race here.
Yeah, I mean, that's good collaboration right there, and again, especially as our time with Kaulig's time with SVG is winding down a little bit, it would have been very easy to just, obviously they have an objective in the Xfinity Series, but to just kind of start patting each other on the back, saying it's been a good run. We'll see you at the track, right? But that's not the direction they went. They worked collaboratively with Shane, and obviously WeatherTech came in and supported the efforts, which is awesome to see. So, I did comment off the side, to you before we got going today. It's like, I wish he wasn't in the race because selfishly, I think AJ's got the best Cup car outside of SVG. And the two of them will probably be racing nose to tail for the win tomorrow as well. It's just going to make life harder. But at the end of the day, as long as one of these Kaulig cars gets into victory lane, it's a good day, and I'll be happy either way.
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be interesting. I'm only going to see bits and pieces of the race on my phone. It's Thanksgiving weekend up here in Canada. But SVG was the better car in qualifying in Cup, just like he was in Xfinity. But more so than just that, SVG and Tyler Reddick were considerably better than AJ in qualifying, but AJ and Cindric were better in race trim than those two. So throw the names in the hat and see what happens. I'd like to see Austin Cindric finally have a good Cup race on a road course, because you've talked about it a ton in the past. Those results just haven't translated yet.
Yeah, they really haven't. Same with Austin Cindric. I'm sorry, Chase Briscoe. It's guys that really, really dominated the Xfinity series when they were there. Neither one of them have really translated that expertise over to the Cup level. And I understand they're very different race cars, but I am just very shocked. I expected both of them to be pretty regular staples towards the top of the board. And Austin Cindric does show up from time to time. He's pretty good at COTA. I think last couple of years he's been decent at COTA. But yeah, very inconsistent. So, the Penske cars, per usual, found some speed in the playoffs, and Cindric's proven himself very capable so far. And if he has a chance to run well tomorrow.
Not a great pit stop for AJ or SVG. AJ only lost the one position. He's lucky he didn't lose more, 16.1. I think SVG's pit stop was closer to 17 seconds. He lost 4 or 5 spots. Not what you need. Like the team, AJ was lucky to only lose one. I hope he doesn't get a speeding penalty off pit road, because it looked like he gunned it there a bit to try to not lose more. But look, at the end of the day, this is go time. Biggest race of the year. Not the time to be coming up with bullshit stops. And on both cars, it was slow on the left side of the car.
Allgaier went 17.1 also. So, I mean...
Yeah, he had a slow stop too, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed that this year, that the Xfinity cars, the stops in the Xfinity races have slowed down rather significantly. Like a good stop now is 14.5, 14.8.
I think Jesse Love was 14.5, Austin Hill 15 flat.
Yeah, so back in the day, right, before when they all had 5 lugs in Cup Series, these guys were doing sub 13 stops. But they don't practice that as much. Most of these crews are Cup crews. They work on Sundays, and that's their primary gig. And I've noticed that they've all gotten a tick slower on these five lug stops. And not saying, obviously I'm not sitting here saying, oh, AJ's stop is fine. It was definitely slow, but 14 and a half, 15-second stops are the common norm now. So, obviously we want to be better than 16 seconds, but I've seen a lot of those throughout the year for a lot of teams.
Well, I wouldn't be shocked to see a Sam Mayer Stage 2 win at this point. I'm assuming he will flip Stage 2. I'm assuming SVG is going to have no choice but to flip Stage 2. I want to see AJ get up there and finish, somewhere between 6th and 1st in this stage. I don't think he'll get 1st, but who knows? Yellows change everything. The big thing here is I want to see both guys keep the fenders on the car.
Yeah.
I don't want to see guys beating and banging, having to... Not that you can't win with damage at the Roval. AJ has before, a couple of times, in fact, but they both got fast hot rods right now. Let's not screw up the airflow on them.
This is the most critical part of the race. Right here, right now. Going into it, I had no worries about stage run 1. That will play it out exactly how I expected it to. This is the part of the race where you just hit the nail on the head, right? We got to stay clean. If we need to rub fenders a little bit, so be it, but you got to keep everything straight. Can't go for any spins. Can't knock a fender in. Can't get a tire rub. Just methodically, there's 3 cars in this field that can win the race. 3. That's it. And we got 2 of them. Just methodically go forward. And if I fully expect the cars that flip stage 1 will likely flip stage 2. So as long as AJ can stay ahead of SVG, I honestly think he will probably win stage 2 as well. I mean, I don't see a reason, I guess, why you would flip stage 1 and not flip stage 2. So,
AJ is going to restart 17th, SVG 22nd.
yeah, there you go. What I say, 14th, so right about where I thought he would. So it's going to be hard. I do think he will work his way up to the top 5 or 6 just on pace.
Oh, for sure. Like, I'm looking at the guys in front of him, and this is not to bash any of them, but like Parker Retzlaff, Ryan Sieg, Ed Jones, Alex LeBay, Josh Williams, Anthony Alfredo, Austin Green, Sammy Smith, even though he's pretty good at road courses, like those cars are not going to be able to keep pace with AJ or SVG. And I'll go one step further. Parker Kligerman is typically good at road courses. They are not good here this weekend on a weekend where they need to be good. They do not have the pace SVG or AJ do.
I agree. They shouldn't. They should not be too difficult to get around.
That's where that hairpin turn, it reminds me of a couple of the turns at Coda, where it's like, you can barrel it in there and pick up a spot or two, but like you really have to exercise some patience and not risk destroying your car. It's a long stage, it's 20 laps. I know some people might not think that's long, but in reality, it is. Take your time. You're you're the best to ever do it, and SVG is the best road course racer this year in the series. Just let your talent in the car handle themselves. Thanks, Chevy. Glad to be back, man. Just been a crazy couple of weeks, but we'll definitely be doing content at least once a week going forward. I really wanted to get some stuff out this week. I think the last video we did was just a solo video I did. Ryan's had some stuff going on. I had some stuff going on the prior week, but we were really committed to being here today and doing this live stream with y'all.
Yeah, I can't believe we're winding down to the end of the year already. Feels like the year's gone by very fast. So very much enjoyed the last couple months doing the videos and the live streams. It's been a good time. Definitely schedule wise, been very busy with work and had a bit of a medical issue earlier in the week that took some time, but everything's going good, and I'm looking for the last month of the season, and hopefully we can all finish out strong. I always hate the winter months because I am jonesing for racing. So we got 5 more weeks. So enjoy them while we got them.
AJ and SVG here, the restart has just happened. Need to be very wary of wrecks in front of them.
Yes, they do. I'm so scared about this.
Uh-oh, my stream just froze. Oh, it's back.
Yeah, I'm going through the inner. Well, they're just doing the corkscrew now. Oh man,
we got a spinner.
And what I just saw was SVG get into the back of Sheldon. Luckily, nobody went around there.
You did. I don't know. Is it LeBay that's in the 91? We mentioned him. He went around. I don't know if he had help.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, he got a little hit in the rear corner there. Car right in front of AJ, right? Like this is the part. I mean, we got through it. We thankfully this lap, but yeah, I mean, you're just at the mercy of everybody around you and not getting your corners beat in here.
Josh Williams did the smart thing and said, go. Good call.
Okay. Oh, okay. Last time I saw AJ, he was behind Jesse Love, so that's good that they cleared that.
AJ's up to 11th, SVG 13th. SVG looks like he has a bit of damage though. AJ got lightly clipped in the back by the 26, I think that was. Should be fine though. Both guys doing a decent job of navigating chaos.
Yeah, they got. I mean, they're starting to stretch out now, right? Like now it's just go race. Yeah, they just. I don't even know if the 26 got him, but yeah, that was close, very close. I just saw the replay.
Even
And
if
the
it did, it's not
97
bad.
be
That's typical
97 be
damage.
dive bombing.
Oh yeah, he's reminding me of Jacques Villeneuve at the moment.
Listen, that works for a while. He's going to piss somebody off though.
I believe AJ's made it back into the top 10.
Just got to wipes, get clear the dude wipes, and off he goes. I am, by the way, very happy we cleared Jesse Love because he's a good little racer, man. And it looks like SVG is going to get him here, but he is not an easy dude to pass.
Nope, he's a grinder for sure. And you know what? The whole one welcome thing, it's really showing this weekend because all the cars minus Josh Williams in both series are fairly quick. Looks like we got a yellow for debris. Looks like someone lost a cufflink. Or not a cufflink, sorry. I don't know what the hell that is. You don't want to run over that, though. That's for damn sure. So AJ up to 10th, SVG up to 12th. Riley Herbst down in 17th. This is what I'm talking about.
That looks like an something exhausty. Oh, even Jeff Burton doesn't know what he's looking at, so. By the way, it's small stuff like this, by the way, that why I've always preferred NBC/CW over Fox. They just zoomed in at a part that's on the racetrack. We know exactly why that caution came out. It didn't take them 3 laps to say, "Oh, yeah, there's debris." No, there is. It is. That's the caution. Let's figure out what it is. I really respect that. It's a small detail, but the production value that NBC. Yeah, I am actually very sad. Just a side tangent that NBC is losing races because I've always felt their production was really good, and I don't know how. I'm assuming you guys up there in Canada, in particular, probably simulcast the same stream just off your channel, but
that's my guess. TSN gets all the coverage up here. They lost a good chunk of their hockey coverage several years ago, and really went the route of picking up like AEW wrestling and motorsports and stuff like that.
Who does your hockey now?
Sportsnet, owned by Rogers, same company that conveniently owns the Maple Leafs. In other words, money, 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 money. Yeah, SVG gained 9 spots on the restart. AJ gained 7. AJ in the top 10, 7 spots ahead of Riley Herbst. To me, you race your way up to that 3rd to 5th area, maybe even more, and you put yourself ahead of Herbst on points, even heading into the last stage. I think it's worth the gamble. Look how many they just went 17th to 10th. Just speaking from AJ's perspective here, and even SVG's perspective, 22 to
13.
I guess 21 to 9 to 12. Pardon me. It's like if you're going to go get yourself some stage points this stage, the odds of no caution in the final 27 laps are slim to none at this place. Like I'd say 10% chance or less, you're going to have a shot to rebunch the field back up. And you're probably going to get rebunched back up with you guys still be flirting inside the top 10. I think you got to take the points. I know I sound like I'm beating a dead horse, but I've seen some talk online of people wanting AJ to flip the stage, like to win. It's like, I want him to win too, but he's going to have just as good of an opportunity to win tomorrow in a series where he's not racing for points. Take the points.
I guess at the end of the day, they do need to take the points, but I am personally trying to calculate how can we take the points, and eat our candy too, right? I want both, and I'm just sitting here thinking, where are we in this stage, right? We're 8 laps into this stage, 9 probably at least before they go green. I almost wonder if you come in and you could pit now if you wanted to, and then stay out, at the end to try to get your stage win, and then don't pit. I think that could happen. Like, we're halfway through the race. It's clear you can go at least 20 laps on a tank of fuel, more than that, I'm sure. If you pit now, you could still realistically do this on one more stop.
The interesting thing here on the restart, not to go off the board here, but Sam Mayer restarted third and is still third. He didn't move up at all on that restart.
That's true. He did not.
18 has transmission issues. Uh-oh.
Who's 18?
Sheldon Creed.
Sheldon.
Let's hope that doesn't turn into another Gibbs engine issue, or else. Did he get stage points, or did he flip the stage?
Sheldon got some, but not a lot. He got spun there. Oh, he's stuck in second gear? Jesus Christ. He's going to blow that pig up if it's stuck in second.
My question is, if he DNS due to an engine thing, is he safe, or I don't know how far ahead he is.
He seemed safe. I think he's safe. But if he finishes dead last, that changes things, right? Yeah, I'd like to see some points. I don't know. Let's put it this way. I was not worried about him missing this round on points, but yeah, if he blows it up or has a transmission issue, 32 is decent point margin, but not a guarantee at all.
$32 above the cut line, so yeah, he would need to have. I don't know, because there's stage points, right? Depends when it happens. If it happens before the end of the stage, then who knows?
He's not getting stage points. Let's put it that way. And if he got stage points in the first stage, it was only 1 or 2. It wasn't a lot. So I think Sheldon could be in trouble if this continues to get worse for him.
AJ is just such a dog
Good
at this
restart
place. He gives you no space. AJ looks like he's up to 7th already.
Whoa, what a dive bomb. Woo!
We are about to have another yellow. and it's your buddy.
Austin Hill, the love of my life.
No, Matty D.
Not D Burrito.
Yeah, D Burrito just burritoed himself into the tire barrier.
Then here's the chaos, right? Like this is.
Yeah, and now they're gonna get bunched back together again.
Yeah, and Cindy is absolutely right. As now that we're about halfway through this race, the dive bombs into 7, again, I think that's 7, are only going to get more aggressive and more aggressive and more aggressive, and it's going to be very ugly for a few cars. We just have to hope we are either on the receiving end or on the issuing end of said dive bomb. Or so far ahead of it, we're not affected by it.
AJ will restart P7, SVG P9. Debris on the track on top of the wreck as well. So picture perfect world. AJ gains at least 2 or 3 more spots before the end of the stage, and Herbst gets none, and all of a sudden you're a point or 2 back.
Riley Herbst is 17th at the moment. Again, like I know people are going to short pit here, but I do feel really good that he's not going to get a lot of stage points.
Yeah, it's about as good as he's capable of in terms of raw speed at this place. What was the quote that I seen out there? He
So they took a bad track and made it worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how many laps? We still have this stage is only half over. We're only 10 laps into the stage. AJ's up to 7th. I have no concern at all, honestly, for AJ at this point.
Mine's just stuff that's beyond his control, right? A bad pit stop or getting caught up in someone else's mess. I said going into today, as long as they even had a reasonably decent car, they were going to pass Riley Herbst today.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, still only halfway through. Got to stay, cannot get wrecked. But I mean, I was very confident coming into this race, as we should be. That confidence has only grown, but I can't discount the bad luck, right? You know, some of it's self-inflicted, but everything that could go wrong has gone wrong for AJ this year. So I just sitting here on pins and needles, just hoping that he just has this uneventful day. That really is what it boils down to. You know, if it's uneventful, he's going to advance. Yeah, and then Main Mang, I hope I'm saying that right. Yeah, this is a NASCAR special. Burning laps under yellow. It's what we do best around here.
I was listening to SVG talk about the Roval today, and he said, and I quote, he's never really raced anything like it before. Because there's an area of the track that feels like a street course. That's the area just if you're pulling off pit road, you basically merge right onto it. Then the inner loop's more like a traditional road course, and then all of a sudden you're on an oval, right? So I was a little bit surprised to hear SVG define it that way.
Yeah, he's getting some real experiences, right? Like, I mean, you know, obviously I know what he's, you know, when we went to Bristol, he was a kid in a candy store. He loved everything about that. That was new for him. This track is unique, you know, and there's no track else, you know, in the world that's similar to this, which is why I love it. You know, everybody's, you know, rooting for it to go away and go off the schedule, but all biases aside, I think it's an intriguing race just because there's so many variables to it.
Yeah, I don't think the Roval's going anywhere anytime soon.
Well, as long as the Smiths continue to own the track, I think it's safe. But I know there is a subset of fans and drivers that would pay a lot of money for it to never be seen again.
There's a bunch of fans that would love to not race at any road course, and I hate to tell them, but the days of there only being a couple of road courses or 3 road courses a year are over. It's far more likely to increase than decrease at this time. And Mexico next year, I still hate the area of the track they cut out, but it's going to be a ton of fun.
I just looked at.
Enjoy, Seth.
Oh, nice! I'm glad you're hopping on while at the race, double dipping a little bit. That's cool, man. Man, Riley's got some damage on that nose.
Yeah, him and Sam Mayer almost got into that wreck earlier in stage 1.
Also, just 2 things to note here. AJ is now currently ahead of Sheldon Creed in points. Obviously, he can still go forward and march forward, but that's an interesting nugget to follow if he does continue to have issues. AJ could theoretically get ahead of Sheldon in points. And AJ is currently tied with Jesse Love. So, these just continuing to build a bank, right? That's really what we're doing now at this point, is building a bank of points.
SVG sticks out, but if he can gain 3 or 4 positions here at the end of the stage, big chance for him to get in still on points.
I am curious if they have already accounted for stage points as they run. I've always wondered about that.
That's an excellent question. I don't have the answer to it either.
Ooh, ooh. Sorry, I'm just making noises now, but these guys are so close to wrecking.
Man, SVG in that hairpin. Eesh.
He's making it work though, right? That's incredible stuff. I think I'm about 30 seconds behind you now, so I've definitely gained on you. But
he didn't hit anyone there, but man,
he did not.
That was. I watched him send it in there, and it's like, oh God, no. I don't like that Seth just said, oh God, and he's at the track. Oh God. Wow, Seth, you weren't kidding. Holy moly.
Well, you're not that far.
At the Roval, and
I say you're not that far ahead of me, so let's see. It's got to be coming up here.
Oh, it's coming, and it includes some chase drivers. Herbst and Creed with a ton of damage, man.
This is that white boy dance. 98's in trouble. Poor Josh Williams, man. I know he's been like our punching bag this year, but that guy, Jesus. Well, let's see. How bad is that car? Obviously, his nose is trashed.
The Creed's car is really fucked up, and Herbst's car at the back end.
Even worse. I'm sure they'll try to stay out, but his car is, they got nothing.
Seth, maybe a little slower on the commentary next time, man. I know you're at the track, but you said, oh God, and it hit me. I'm like, oh no, not AJ, not SVG. He's seen it before all of us.
Yeah, very good news for Carlos. And now, again, as I was mentioning a second ago, Sheldon Creed is now very in peril here.
Oh, Herbst is all fucked up on the side too.
Herbst's day is done. I mean,
Yeah,
as I said, I'm sure he'll try, but he's done.
Oh man, I'm just wondering if you flip the stage. Then again, maybe you don't in case you end up in what they just ended up in.
Yeah, I tend to say play it safe. I was legitimately worried about pointing in, even with Riley knowing he's not very good at this. But now I think you just take the points and Seth, keep on coming, buddy. Don't slow down for us. I love it. I love it.
Just don't give away who or what it is when it happens.
But
Hope you're
honestly,
enjoying the race and or staying comfortable out there, though.
yeah, man, I'm loving that you're able to watch the race and chat with us, man. That's great. But honestly, man, I do say now take your points, right? You can't lock yourself in on points, but you take them, you build the buffer, and it don't get to a point where it doesn't matter who wins this race, right? But also, we're now fifth. We are right on Mayor's ass. I think we can still win the stage. And this is just a very small thing, and I do want to win this race for AJ. I mean, if he can get 5 bonus points for winning, that's huge. But if he doesn't win this race, winning these stages, it helps, right? It's 2 more exactly. So, and if SVG ends up winning this race, that'll help him because then he will have 20 something bonus points.
I just think there's some cleanup to do here, and it's already at 14 to 20. You're probably at most getting 3 laps here on the restart. Might be a lot to ask to go from 5th to 1st.
It just depends on who pits,
Flagerman,
right?
they'll pass if he doesn't wreck them.
They're good pals. I don't see that happening.
I don't think Chandler has anything for AJ on a road course. Balicki's been good today, so
good. He's been good. I've been impressed. He's not as good as us, but he's been good.
I'd like to see the standings right now where they currently run is SVG close to being in on points after that. I'd love to hear what's happening with Sheldon Creed. He was able to drive away from it, but significant damage.
Yeah, well, I think Sheldon, they can tape his nose down. If that's all that was a crinkled nose, he might be, I won't say good, but he, should be able to continue at some bit of pace.
Him and Herbst both had pretty significant damage. This is the Roval, man. Exactly the things we were afraid of AJ or SVG getting caught up in. But I like, oh my god, the back end of Herbst's car is like hanging off the racetrack, basically. Looks like they're going down pit road. You're muted, buddy.
Shit, I hate the mute monster. But it does make sense. They're in their pit window. Come now.
Bunch of cars coming down.
Yeah. Come now. I'm assuming most of the top 10's coming. You have a 1 or 2 lap shootout. So just have a good stop. Let's see what happens.
Let's just hope dumbass Riley Herbst doesn't stay out. Not that he'll hold on to it. I'm worried about him causing a wreck. AJ gained a spot. SVG lost 2. Matty D took fuel only for some reason. Oh, he probably already switched his tires after the wreck.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, okay, pit stops. SVG down 2, AJ up 1. I'll
And
take
then
a positive gain whenever they can get it. Really, may have been up 2 if it wasn't for the Matty D gas only.
Yeah, I'm not even worried about Matty D. We'll blow right on by him.
See, I know you're a Matty D fan, but and I know he would never go out of his way to wreck AJ. Those two are really close, but I sit here and I go, oh God, just the slow car he's in and on a restart,
We're
that's
starting
the type
next
of guy
to him,
you
though.
worry about wrecking people, right?
If we were behind him, I would be more.
Well, SVG is behind him, though. I'm trying to think of both guys, right? So
your train of thought is, but we're starting next to him.
I'm more worried about SVG, who's going to start.
That's all right. SVG will just die about him. Well, that's yeah. I mean, that's just a risk in any restart, especially at this joint. Yeah, Chevy, we celebrate break-even pit stops around here. That's the best we can hope for most days.
Dying for a points update.
I tell you, it's the one thing I wish they would update on the NASCAR app would be a live points. That'd be very nice, especially at least during playoff time.
Totally agree. Well, I can tell you that Sheldon Creed is 33rd right now, and Riley Herbst is 30th, and neither one of those guys are winning this race with what they're going through, although I'm a little bit worried here that is the NASCAR leaderboard not up to date here? What are we doing?
It's just the pit stops. They haven't cycled fully through yet.
Okay. It was showing AJ P19. Please tell me they didn't get a penalty. Are we only going to have 2 to go here by the time they go green?
Maybe 3, but yeah, 2 or 3 at most.
More cars stayed out than I would have liked, and a lot of slower cars too, man. It's I got a bad feeling.
Yeah, so who stayed out? Perez, Mozak, Sieg, Clements, Honeyman, Kramer, and Allgaier. Yeah, that's not ideal.
Allgaier's not winning this race without a bunch of luck, though, so I'm not too worried about.
Nope. He's made his bed. He's going to restart 20 something next
AJ,
stage.
AJ, I don't know if SVG is going to get stage points, Cindy, but AJ definitely will. It's hopefully he doesn't get involved with a wreck here.
Yeah,
It'll be 3 to go. Bunch of slower cars, really easy to get into the back of one. Really easy to get hit from behind here.
Yeah. AJ is so aggressive in the infield portion of this track, which is where he's so good. I have no doubt he'll be able to do his job, but yeah, I'm concerned he's going to make a move, push somebody tight, and they won't be able to handle it.
I also wouldn't sleep on stage Karam beating Justin Allgaier here. Karam's a good little road racer.
Yeah, I've always liked him when he was over in IndyCar, so he knows his way around a road course.
Actually, AJ's restarting row 5, so he's already in the stage points. And he's on the inside, too, which is your preferred lane.
Tell you what, he wasn't as aggressive through the start as I was kind of expecting him to be there. Definitely safe, playing it safe at least through the beginning portion of this lap here.
Man, SVG just dive bombed into that hairpin again. I thought he was going to hit someone into AJ.
Wow, AJ just watched him pass Almirola there.
Oh, Creed might
Or
be
try to
out.
pass Almirola.
I think
I
he
don't know
just
if he
blew
clears
up.
him.
Yep, Creed just blew up. Wow.
Tell you what, man, the 97 is a beast on these restarts. I'll give him that.
Good on him, though, because that's the one area he really needed to improve on. And he's clearly done that. They're trying to not throw the yellow for Creed. He's got it rolling on the apron, but yeah. Sheldon Creed might be out of the points here.
Yeah, it's
Wild.
as long as he's moving, they'll probably keep it green.
He's about to not be. I'm hoping AJ can pick up another spot before then. Oh, Riley Herbst might be down too. It might be both of them out, man. Yep. Holy shit. Herbst and Creed in one lap. It's about time Kaulig gets some fucking luck go their way. That'll be the end of the stage there. I think AJ's 6th? Yeah, AJ 6th,
He is
SVG
currently
7th.
6th. It depends on if have they thrown a yellow yet.
They have, and Herbst has something broken on the car, might be done for the day.
Yeah.
Which means that SVG will definitely pass Herbst in points here too. This is good. This is really good.
Yeah, I'm a little annoyed we couldn't get past Honeyman there for that extra point, but whatever.
You know,
also, and again, just playing. Mm-hmm.
Still another stage.
I was just going to say, we're only 3 points behind Cole here too. I was say we're only 3 points behind Cole Custer here too. So, and we got a few spots to gain. So it's again like I'm starting to feel really good that we're going to point our way in here.
Yeah, and both guys high enough up in the field that they still have a legitimate shot at winning the race too.
Honestly, I think this is almost best case. Obviously, we are behind Sam Mayer, which I don't like, but we've made our pit stop. We got a decent amount of stage points. You know, we're going to put ourselves in a position where we're going to restart second, I think. SVG will be third, right on our bumper. You know, just go take it. Go win the damn thing.
I don't know where Allgaier was in points coming into this, but I would think he would move in front of Creed or stay in front of Creed still, even when he's not the leader or close to it.
No, he'll definitely be behind. He was 7 points behind us coming into the race, and we gained a few on him in stage 2 or stage 1, but he's going to gain a few back on us here in stage 3. It's close. It's very close.
Allgaier was -7. I thought that was Mayer that was -7.
No, Mayer was much further behind.
Yeah. Well, it's going to take a miracle at this rate for Creed to make the playoffs. Herbst is basically toast. Just a wild turn of events. I think right now SVG is 1 point out. Meaning if he was to make up one more position, he will more than likely get in because it doesn't seem like Creed or Herbst are gonna improve. Well, Creed's done, so like he's not improving his position. And Herbst said something broke. Whether they can run with that or not, who knows? They still got to make minimum speed. You can't just go out there and log laps at a very slow speed.
Yeah, and the other question for him is I don't know if he made a fast enough lap time to get off the damaged vehicle policy, which if he did not get up to speed, he could also be done just based off that. So even if he could get the car fixed, If he's still on the DVP clock, they probably won't get it fixed in the 7 or 8 minutes they would have, if they even have that much.
I know you mentioned earlier that AJ, SVG, and Sam Mayer, one of those three guys is going to win this race. And, given what it's going to look like on the restart here, you're probably right if the guys can keep their cars clean. But you had mentioned only 2 of the 3 are going to go forward. There's a very real possibility all 3 might go forward.
Yeah, that math has changed. I really thought Sheldon Creed was in basically zero danger of missing the next round, but considering what's happened to him today, I do see a path now where all 3 can make it. Now, and they touched on this at the beginning of the broadcast. Now we got to try to play to see who we can keep out. And we don't want Sam Mayer making it to the next round. He's fast enough. He can definitely be a nuisance. If we can eliminate him right here, right now, let's put it this way. I still think Sam Mayer has to win. I see a path where AJ and SVG can make it on points. I don't see that for Sam Mayer. I do think he still has to win. So if we can keep him from winning.
I think that changed when Creed went down. Because
he didn't get stage
was only
points,
13 back.
I know, but he didn't get stage points in stage 1. So that still left him, yes, he finished 3rd in this stage and got 7 points or whatever, but we'll see. I don't think he can point his way in. If he does, it is going to be by the skin of his teeth. I don't think he can bank on it.
I need to see a points update to after Allgaier pits to better understand what's going on. But I could see Sam Mayer finishing 2nd or 3rd, and if the other guys are finishing positions in the 30s, I don't know how far Creed was ahead heading into this. I wonder if I can check that on NASCAR. Sheldon Creed was plus 32 heading into today. Herbst is in the garage. You're mute again, man.
I was going to say, that just should mean his day's done then.
Apparently not. They're not on the damaged vehicle policy for some reason.
They must have made minimum speed in their 1 lap, which tells me minimum speed is pretty pathetic. Yeah, I mean, even if he can get back on the track, I think best case he's going to be 10 laps down. Best case.
Yeah, he would need a couple of big ones quickly.
Yeah, quickly is the concern here, because even if there is a big one, he might not be able to have enough laps to make it up.
What AJ needs to avoid is one of those last lap wrecks competing for a win on a road course that he's been caught in a few times.
Yeah, listen, I think he'll know what he needs to do, right? Really do feel like the team will keep him very well apprised of what needs to happen, and if they're in on points, I mean, obviously you want to win, but he knows the objective here today.
Haven't seen enough of Sam Mayer to know how good he is or not. Obviously, he was good early and excellent in qualifying, but is he better than AJ and SVG? I'm not so sure.
I think Mayer's quicker in the short run. I feel like AJ and probably SVG are better on the long run. But he is going to be tough to beat. Him having the track position is what makes it tough. We need to try to pass him here on the restart if we can.
As it stands right now, AJ's plus 18 and up to fifth in points. SVG's plus 5. Sam Mayer's out by -4 and restarting on the front row. So you're right, Sam Mayer does need to win. Justin Allgaier, though, can move up. Apparently not. Apparently someone else is leading. At least according to that leaderboard or points board that I'm looking at.
Oh, maybe it's Mozak technically leading.
Is he going to be up there for the moving pick on AJ and SVG to hold them up?
Yep, looks that way. And where is Allgaier?
Deep back in the field now because he pit under caution. So
yeah, but he's got. I mean, that's actually good for him that he's only -8 and he's wherever he is.
I think Allgaier could end up bumping out Creed.
Yeah, I would almost expect it. The only thing that changes the math on this is, again, if Mayer does take the lead and wins this race, right, then everything moves down the line and it gets a little bit harder for Allgaier. I'll tell you what, Connor Mozak got a better restart than I was expecting him to.
Well, 5-lap better tires matter. Early in a run, yeah. Later in a run, no. But hey, you're on a road course and you're using, you're going two really different types of surfaces on this racetrack, right? So, like, you're looking at a really easy track to flat spot your tires.
That would definitely be the concern, right? Just there is 24 laps left in this race. This track is pretty harsh on tires. You definitely want to, make them last. And 5 laps, I do think makes a difference. And it might not make a difference right this very second, but I do think by the time you get 10, 15, 20 laps into this run, it's going to matter.
Who are we talking about, though? Like Justin Allgaier? He's way too back to make a difference.
I think he's probably talking about Mozak, but I could be wrong.
Well, Mozak shouldn't have 5-lap better tires. He should be on the same as them if he started up front. Mozak looks like he's got some damage on that front. Not enough to affect him, but
Yeah, he's got a tire rub. That's interesting. Did you see that smoke? He's definitely rubbing a fender there into that left front.
yeah, I imagine Sam Mayer's not going to be the most patient with he's exiting this team. That's a part-time driver in front of him. I can see something stupid happening. What we don't need is SVG dive bombing AJ in that hairpin turn and taking them both out.
And listen, I think that's the message getting conveyed to SVG as well, right? Like you're currently in the green. You don't need to push it right this second. If things change, we'll let you know. But right now, just hold station. You're doing okay.
Amarillo ran out of talent in the hairpin.
They should be good to go to the end. That's a different story. OT is definitely. If I heard the announcers right, that they were basically right on the number to make it to the end, and overtime could be sketchy. So I know these guys are good at saving fuel, but it's going to be hard for sure to go overtime, I think.
I think AJ is better than Mozak, but I don't know if he has anything for Mayer without another caution. But if it
Remember,
stays long, who knows?
yeah, it's a long stage. It's a long stage. This is what AJ does better than any of them. Is he knows how to conserve his tires at this place. But I do agree we need to get by Mozak sooner than later.
AJ going for the pass, and Mozak pulled the SVG move in the hairpin on him. AJ to P2. Yep, that's right, Seth. Did the SVG to Mozak in the hairpin.
Yep. Got a quality dive bomb.
What's happening, Davey? How are you doing?
Hey, Davey. Just sitting here having a good afternoon. I agree with you, Dirty Def. Allgaier is definitely our concern for SVG. He's I don't know where is Allgaier. Allgaier is P14 at the moment. I mean, there's no doubt he's going to get himself back up to at least the top 10. That definitely puts SVG in the danger zone.
SVG just door shot Mozak on the infield and completed the pass. So that should put SVG +3 on Allgaier, and Allgaier has 2 teammates in front of him. But then Jesse Love, and if the one welcome's a thing, Love's gonna run Allgaier real hard. I don't like that Allgaier has 2 teammates, though, that he can just walk past, and Brandon Jones and Sammy Smith. I don't think Cole Custer is just going to give him a position, though.
I mean, neither is Brandon Jones, to be honest. I mean, Brandon Jones has no reason to help him out.
You will see a more competitive Brandon Jones next year. That's just what happens when you go to a Gibbs car.
I mean, I don't disagree, but man, it's not like he's in shit equipment at Junior Motorsports.
Can AJ catch Mayer? Well, AJ was 4/10 quicker than Mayer that last lap, 3.5 tenths quicker than Mayer that last lap. Mayer's faster on the shorter run, but as Ryan suggested earlier, AJ might be faster on the longer run. And Chris Rice was super confident today when talking about the 16 on the long runs. And don't count out SVG yet either, by the way. He's no slouch, and he is SVG was 3/10 slower than Mayer that lap. AJ was 3.5 tenths faster.
But he was also making a pass, so
Yes. And SVG shouldn't have anyone challenge him out back at this point. You still worry about cautions from cars that don't matter.
yeah. I mean, honestly, at this point, this is the best 3 cars are running 1, 2, 3. I mean, obviously, yeah, I do expect a little bit more carnage and chaos at some point over the next 16 laps, but the best 3 cars are running 1, 2, 3. I don't see a reason one of these 3 won't win this thing. So, but I am getting a bit nervous for SVG. He is definitely perilously close to this cut line. We need to get by Mayer. I think that's the objective for AJ at this point, is to get by Mayer, because that might help SVG out a lot.
I don't know how many stage points SVG got or not. That's going to be a close call. If AJ can run down the 1, did SVG gain enough to pass Mayer in points? I'm not sure he did. He would have got 9 in stage 1, and I think he
And
finished 3 in
3 or
stage 2.
4.
So
Yeah.
12 points. Let me go check the standings going
Mayer
into this
got
race.
8, so he gained I think he's +4 on Mayer.
No. Mayer gained none.
Well, on stage
Mayer's
2,
got.
he finished 8th, or 2nd,
Oh
or
yeah.
3rd, or whatever he did. He got a lot of points in stage 2.
I thought he flipped it. Oh, I mean, they did flip it, but they were able to stay out. That's right. Never mind. So, yeah, I don't think it's enough then for. I'm trying to check it here, so bear with me. Math on the go, not my strong suit. And Justin Allgaier just made quick work of Brandon Jones. SVG was actually 3 points ahead of Sam Mayer heading into today. So
So
that
that
might be the
might
goal, is
be.
get AJ up there, but not a great last lap, that's for sure. Oh, yeah, Sam Mayer was half a second quicker than AJ that last lap. Little car on track, according to Seth. Yellow would be nice. Probably need one a little closer to the finish.
But I will say SVG is starting to run some really fast lap times here.
Yeah, Mayer and AJ were about even that last time around. SVG was
A hell
about
of a lot faster.
6/10 quicker.
That's nuts. That's an insane lap.
Just
I
took
don't
over
know.
second, too. AJ didn't challenge him for it in the hairpin. Caution. You know, I sit here and go, do you go for tires?
No. I don't think you should. I just think it's too hard to, even as good as the cars we have, and we got some good cars, I don't think it's enough to move ourselves back to the point of being in contention here.
No, I mean, cautions breed cautions. This basically doesn't guarantee, but there's a damn good chance that that's not the last caution. That's a hell of a hit, too, by the way.
Can I just tell you, it's a stupid thing, but I really hate that this is not the Tums heartburn turn anymore. It just, that MGM doesn't do it for me.
SVG is going to race Sam super hard, but yeah, I mean, they're having the discussion right now in the broadcast. Do you go for tires? Because they do make a difference at this track. And, you know, um, we'll see, right? Like, Sam Mayer pits, you probably stay out. Sam Mayer doesn't pit and you get word that others are. Maybe you come. That being said, I'd hate to put yourself, but like the odds of you getting a wreck, even with new tires being further back in the pack on what's about to be more than likely multiple restarts compared to restarting in the front two rows is significantly higher.
Yeah, that would definitely be the risk for me. Would be just getting back in the soup. If you can avoid it, I think you should. Now the real question is how many cars pit, right? Like that could, you could stay out and then everybody behind you comes and pits and you're SOL. So this is the part of this is right here where the crew chiefs really, really make their money. They've been on their tires for 14, 15 laps. There's 14 or 15 laps to go. I mean, new tires would help a lot.
It's really interesting, right? Because like if you look at the last three green flag laps run, SVG was the fastest, Mayer was the fastest, and AJ was the fastest. So, like, any of the three can win, especially now that you don't have Connor Mozak in front of them. But I think SV, like, if I'm Sam Mayer right now, good luck keeping that 97 behind you on the restart, especially come the hairpin turn. And then AJ's just there to pick up whatever remains afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of those situations where AJ could kind of pounce on the both of them.
I don't think Shane needs to win to advance, Les. I don't think we're at that point right now. I think if AJ was to win this race and not Sam Mayer, I don't think Sam Mayer's made up enough points on SVG to flip it. I think SVG would get in. Basically, what you're hoping for here is a Kaulig racing car to win and not Sam Mayer. Obviously, if SVG wins, then problem solved. But even if AJ wins, I do believe if SVG's in that top 3 finishing position, he's getting in. If I've done my math right.
Yep, I believe you have, Sean. I think either AJ or SVG wins. Obviously, you're locked in, but we just have to keep Mayer from winning this race. That's the hang up. Yep, TK exactly right. AJ or the 81 of things go really sideways. Yeah, that's definitely going to help.
Yeah, if I've done my math right, and I mean, in SVG, when you don't need the math, he's going forward. AJ, barring him wrecking the car here, is going forward because of the day that he's had. If AJ wins and SVG's in that top 3-4 cars, he's going forward. The 7 absolutely affects SVG, though, if Sam Mayer wins. That doesn't mean it's a given, though, by the way. Last I checked, SVG was still +2.
He is still +2, but Allgaier is also running 12th or 13th, so he's got a lot of meat left on his bone.
Yeah, but they're not going to be gimme spots, right? Like Sammy Smith might give him the spot. But Josh Bilicki, he's there. He's not there to play friends. And frankly, I think he's been better than Justin Allgaier today. Jesse Love's been better than Justin Allgaier today. Parker Kligerman's been better than Justin Allgaier today. Allgaier's not going to just walk through. And you know what? Come to think of it, man, I think who would win a tie between the two, SVG or Allgaier?
SVG
Because he has more wins, right?
No, SVG wins because they're worried about this round. So the highest finishing position in this round.
Okay, so then technically, Allgaier needs to gain 3 spots. And he's got Bilicki, Sammy Smith, Jesse Love, Parker Kligerman in front of him. Austin Green's been a good little road course racer, but that's one that they could catch. It's not a walk in the park that Allgaier is going to gain 3 more spots.
I mean, you're right. It's not.
It's
shit, definitely no guarantee.
They're all pitting. Pardon me. AJ's pitting. Sam Mayer's pitting. SVG is not. Uh-oh. I don't like this call for the 97. You better hope that AJ beats Sam Mayer, because guess what? You can be as good as you want to be. He is going to get blown away by these tires in the first couple laps. Mayer, AJ, Hill off pit road 1, 2, 3. SVG has, let's see, 5 or 6 cars that stayed out with him, which will help him a little bit. But if we stay green, that tire difference is going to show.
He could be in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that call. If the second that you seen Sam Mayer coming, you should have came. I'm not saying SVG can't do it, by the way. It could be a caution fest, and we may only get 1 or 2 more actual completed laps. That's the Roval. But geez, I don't like this call for him.
It's again, and this goes back to the how many cars stay out, how many cars pit, and you know what? A lot. He was on the wrong end of that decision making process, and I don't. You know, I understand the process, and track position is the safe. You know, being out front's the safest spot. You know, and you're hoping that other cars stay with you, and there are some. I think you said 5 or 6, but the rest of the field's on fresh rubber. They're gonna not have much issue getting back to that front there. And listen, I am sure he saved tires, but
he wasn't in the last couple laps.
Not against fresh.
His friend right now are the guys that stayed out. Sam Mayer restarts 13th. AJ restarts 14th. Austin Hill 15th. That's the beginning of the guys who pit. Chandler Smith didn't pit, by the way, apparently. Nor did Why are Chandler Smith and Connor Mozak listed ahead of SVG?
Something's not right with your thing, man. Yeah, your scoring's not right. Looks like AJ starting inside row 5.
Yeah, I'm just on the NASCAR website, so clearly they're having an issue. I'm not going to pay too much attention to that then. Yeah, AJ's row 4. Sam Mayer row 3. That's bad for SVG.
Who is that in the 50? It's a good restart for Shane. Not so good of a restart for AJ there.
AJ's all over Mayer.
It's a very good restart for the 48 there. I don't know if he'll probably won't be able to hold his position, but gained a couple spots. Wow, the 48s. I am surprised the 48s pulling this off here. He's making a great run.
Kligerman stayed out, though, did he not?
I thought he did, yeah.
He would have had to.
Jesus, that's a clusterfuck.
Apparently has fresher tires than SVG, though. And you got Mayer and Allmendinger right behind them. With 10 laps to go, those two are going to catch those two.
Ooh, that hairpin gets me every time. It's so sketchy. They're saying Kligerman pitted. I thought he stayed out. I almost wonder if they pumped Kligerman's tires up a little bit, because he has gotten off to a scorching start here.
Why didn't SVG try to block that?
Oh, it looks like he got a little loose. That was a hell of a move by the one car. Oh, there goes SVG letting AJ by. That was very nice of him.
Yeah, that the not pitting was an awful idea.
Yeah, listen. I probably would have ventured towards staying out myself if you had asked me before we got this thing rolling. But as you said, as soon as Sam Mayer came down pit road, I almost feel like you had to.
SVG needs AJ to win this race.
Yeah, we are now at that point where I don't know where Allgaier is, but it's probably not going to go backwards.
AJ was the fastest of the three that last lap, but not by much, by about a tenth.
Yeah, I think I could be wrong. But I got a feeling that the 48 may have pumped up their air pressures a little bit to
Well, that could come back to haunt him in a few laps.
Get, and it's helped him, right? He's out front, but I do think it might cost him over the next 5-6 laps. Also, say hi to my dog who just came barging in.
AJ faster again that lap than both of them. Not by much, but he's been faster the last two.
Well, I suspect that both, Mayer is going to get there, and they are going to, they're going to be defensive with each other, and that's going to help AJ.
I smell a caution coming.
And it's going to be between these two idiots up front. Let's see, does he take a defensive line? No. Parker really does do a great job in turn 7. He is able to get off, launch out of there really, really well.
Yeah, but
he's not nearly as good in the braking zones, though.
If you watch what Sam just did in that one braking zone there, it lets you know that he's going to run right into the back of him.
She doesn't. The soup that I made does. The soup I made smells like tomatoes. That's not right. That sounds more correct.
Not AJ's best lap there, but
nope, he's a little slower than those two that time.
Yeah, the one thing I'll say, like, both of these two drivers up front have to win this race. Right? That's, 5 coming to 4 to go. They're going to both be very, very desperate.
I think we're about to find out AJ was the quickest of the three that lap by the looks of it. Yeah, it looks like he was 0.3 quicker. Sam needs to win to advance, yes.
Ooh. Oh, he's dive bobbing. This is intense. I don't know how far ahead of me than you are, but this is crazy.
Let's put it this way, AJ is right in it.
Well, so is SVG. SVG's gotten right to their back bumper here. Oh, what's up with Sam Mayer?
Oh, that mistake might have just killed the end of this race, though. They were all close, and I think AJ had to check up a bit there to not run him over and then go for the pass.
Yeah, I agree. That's disheartening. Sam's being a dickhead per usual, but I mean, I understand he couldn't overdrive it, but I really wish AJ would have just pushed the envelope there and tried to pass him in the chicane.
Oh, we're going to get a caution. How did they not throw the yellow? Oh, that's dumb. That's dumb. That's fucking dumb. Fuck you, NASCAR. Holy fuck. What are you doing? I know you're going to see it, but like, this is just stupid. This is stupid on NASCAR's part.
They let him take the yellow or take the white.
Yeah. Even though the car was clearly not going to move. Yellow should have been thrown. Have we not been on one of these streams before where this exact fucking thing has happened?
Wow. I'm happy for Parker. Seriously, that's great for him, but what is NASCAR doing? This is ridiculous.
You're saying the caution came out prior to the white? What?
Maybe the
Uh-oh.
I say I'm definitely
Oh.
they're celebrating like
Oh no, the yellow, look at the caution light. It's on. Look how close that is. Oh my god.
NASCAR's
Oh my
out
goodness.
of control.
AJ Allmendinger is going to win this race.
I hope so. And the thing is, they could have thrown this yellow 10, 15 seconds before they did. There's just no reason. Like, this is absolutely unnecessary bullshit.
Absolutely. All it's done is create more drama for themselves.
Yeah.
Well, The caution being out is the right call. The
Yeah,
car was in the
absolutely.
thing for quite some time. But to wait until the 48 is literally about to cross the line to put it out is just typical NASCAR bullshit.
And I'll be honest with you. Of course, I want to win this race, but I would have rather this race have been over as an AJ fan. But
I hate this for Parker Kligerman.
I do hate this for Parker too.
Because I got to be honest, I have a hard time seeing him winning this race here.
It's going to be a bloodbath. I'm going to assume AJ is going to take the inside lane.
There's no reason for this to happen, man.
No, there isn't.
And, guess what? This is the Roval. How many times have we had multiple overtimes? The question is, or the answer is multiple.
Yeah. The turn 7 is going to be a disaster class.
Yeah.
I mean, now I'm concerned for AJ, right? We're now at a point where anybody can die
and he could be out. I think that's...
Yeah.
I think
absolutely.
AJ could have pushed the issue multiple times there between those three, and he didn't. As much as he wanted to, he didn't. And Christopher Hester, Austin Hill will punt SVG now. He better hope not with this new agreement they all have in place. I know SVG is exiting that agreement, but that wouldn't be received too well. Austin Hill has nothing to gain. He doesn't need to do that.
No, I agree. Austin Hill has nothing. He is about as safe as you can be without actually having a race win at this point. He just wants to get it done too.
Justin Allgaier is sitting here going, oh my God, now I got to deal with a restart from, where's Allgaier sitting at? He's 7th.
Not deep, right? 10th, 7th? Yeah, I mean, that's 7th. Not too bad, but still, right? It could happen to any of us. It could happen to AJ. It could happen to SVG. It could happen to Justin. Somebody dive bombs and goes around.
Shane was not in on points prior to overtime. Shane either had to win or AJ had to win to get him in. Well, he's probably already in unless he wrecks. AJ had to win to get SVG in, or SVG had to win himself. It's firmly in Kaulig's hands here. One of those two cars have to win for them both to go forward.
And apparently what they're saying is the one car is having a hard time shifting. So
that would make sense. That's what it looked like.
So this also, I mean, listen, this is so dynamic. Now Jesse loves pitting and willingly taking themselves below the cut line. So this should theoretically help pass. This might put SVG back above it. What is happening? Why would you pit there?
Maybe he has something wrong. Tire going down. I don't know. That's weird. Let me tell you, TMI to everybody in the chat. I desperately need to use the washroom. This race needs to end. Also, if you haven't yet, please like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications to all to keep up with all the content that we have coming here on the channel. This has been a hell of a race to choose to do. There's a hell of a race tomorrow, which we will not be doing a stream for. If you want to donate to the channel and help us out, you can always send in a super chat or a super sticker. That's always encouraged. This thing's not cheap to do. But we've really enjoyed this season with each and every one of you and look forward to doing more. Check us out on social media. Twitter is KauligNation. X KauligNation, pardon me. Facebook is KauligNation, DingerNation, and SVGNation. And we will have an Instagram going up shortly for KauligNation as well. You know what? I don't think Jesse Love pit before. I think he stayed out, which means he would have been almost out of fuel.
Yeah, honestly, that's my concern for SVG here as well. I'm sure he's got enough, but if we go too many overtimes, he might be in trouble.
We're still here, John. It's just been, in a nutshell, a couple weeks ago, I had something come up and had to take care of it, and it prevented content creation. Last week, Ryan had the same. And yeah, but we're here. There's a bunch of like news topics we all need to catch up on, and hopefully we'll be able to do that. But we were definitely happy to take some time out. I actually got reminded by the wife heading into this weekend. She's like, "Are you doing the Saturday race or the Sunday race?" And I'm like, "The Saturday one." She's like, "Good, because if it was Sunday, I would kill you. It's Thanksgiving weekend up here in Canada." So yeah, I think Jesse Love was a fuel thing, man.
I mean, that would be really unfortunate for him. I mean, obviously, he's going to have fresh tires. So he could march his way back forward. Cindy, we appreciate that. Yeah, it's been a tough couple weeks, work, life, kind of catching up with us both, I think. But we'll do our best to keep pumping out some good content for you guys. It's just been really busy. I know I travel a lot for work as well, so I'll do what I can when I'm around. But sometimes I'm displaced, and it's. But this is what we do for fun. This is our enjoyment. So this has been great. I'm glad we got to do this today, and we'll continue to do this going forward, as Sean said.
Yeah, Lynn, I don't think you need to worry about Mayer and Kligerman taking each other out. You're grouped together here on a restart at the Roval, and I'm looking at that 16 car going, please don't wreck yourself. But at the same time, you have a chance here to do something unheard of.
Yeah, I mean, this is the heartstrings getting pulled. I would love for him to make a big move, especially maybe into turn one, try to get, underneath Kligerman, make it 3 wide. But
as it stands right now, SVG is +2 because of Jesse Love having to pit.
Yeah, I mean, Jesse Love should be able to gain those 2 spots back. He has got fresh tires, but
man, restarts back in the pack though, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
AJ taking the bottom.
24th. Man, I really feel for Parker Kligerman here. Let's see what happens. Best of luck, everyone.
Yeah, Love crashing would do it. Allgaier crashing would do it. Alrighty, here we go.
I don't know what the fuck SVG was just doing. He just got into AJ's door.
I feel so bad for Parker, man. Ooh.
Fuck AJ, get the fuck out of the way. What race were you watching? How about fuck the crew chief and bad call for not pitting?
Ooh, AJ locked it up.
I mean, if you're blaming AJ for that, you are fucking ghost hunting, pal. It was a bad call, and SVG made the most out of it that he could. The fact that he finished third on tires that old is remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. And had Jesse Love not had to pit for whatever reason, fuel, I assume, SVG wouldn't have been in it. He was not going to catch Sam Mayer. Clearly, AJ wasn't either. Parker Kligerman really got robbed there. But yeah, like get out of here with that shit. That's a dog shit opinion, in my opinion.
Man, I feel bad for Parker.
Me too. Like
Yeah, man.
that
I don't know what you're seeing with AJ did nothing wrong,
wasn't needed
man.
to happen.
Just
To say SVG got into him.
there's a hell of a final lap, though. I mean, I was definitely on the edge of my seat for Jesse and Jesse Love's movements and SVG, and it sucks. I hate that we're coming up short. SVG's crew chief screwed him. I think he could have won this race pretty easily. But the one car was good. At the end of the day, we knew coming in the one car was going to be a tough guy to beat today, and all credit goes to him, man. He raced an incredible race, overcame that adversity at the start. He earned it. He just was better than us today.
Yeah, I don't know if SVG could have won the race easily. I think the 1 and the 16 were both better than him in race trim. That seemed pretty evident. But I don't know how you don't pit when you see the guy in front of you. I mean, obviously, it's not SVG's call. But like, as soon as the one went down pit road, that should have been it.
But again, like what? You just don't know who else is going to pit, right? Like it could have been the one going down pit road and nobody follows them, and then the one looks like an asshole. So it's such a hard position in those first couple spots. Obviously it was the wrong call, but it's a tough position to be in. He was told to stay out. I think that's the inexperience also, right? Like, because some of a more experienced driver might make an audible and come down pit road when he sees the guy in front of him.
Man, that's heartbreaking for Kligerman. That's a tough watch. A guy who's walking away from full-time driving, even though he clearly has the talent to do it. Yeah, well, have fun. You've been removed. So, that one car was a rocket ship, though. They were going to be hard to contend with. That's heartbreaking, though. Kudos to AJ. I wanted them both to move on. Yeah, that's tough.
I hate that's a tough. I mean, just why? I mean, that's great work by the camera, showing us Kligerman's pain while the one celebrates. I mean, that's just sheer pain.
That being said, it is that time. I got to run. I got a couple of kids that need to go to bed, and the late start time has them behind on that. So, bad call for SVG. Yeah, it's unfortunate, right? Like, they had enough happen with the other cars that, if him or AJ could have beat the one, they both would have been in. Just wow. Just unbelievable. Thank you everybody for coming out, spending some time with us this afternoon. Ryan, thanks to you again for spending some time, man.
I love it. I'm disappointed SVG didn't make it. I really thought we were going to get there, but it was a great race. It just didn't quite work out for him, but it was fun. I'm glad we got to do this. I definitely miss doing these live streams. It's fun chatting with y'all during the race. So hopefully we'll get to do another one soon.
Absolutely, and appreciate the support and the concern for both of us. It's very thoughtful of you all. But we'll be back. For anybody in Canada, have a great Thanksgiving. But yeah. I just seen AJ and Kligerman talking there. That's tough. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you for coming out. Have a great end of your weekend. Sorry that SVG is out, but you know what? He's got a shot to go trophy hunting tomorrow night or tomorrow, and has a pretty good shot at winning. They both do. So let's see what happens. For Ryan, I'm Sean. We'll see you next time.